The 2024 IYF World Camp opened in Busan again this year. This year, approximately 20,000 people participated, including 3,500 college students and youth from 65 countries, as well as ministers and vice ministers, university presidents, educators, pastors, and general participants all over the world. Students had great time with various lively programs such as lectures by famous people, Academy and Skanja. In the main program of World Camp, various cultural performances added livelines, starting with congratulatory speeches from ministers and vice ministers from each country.
Where we saw artists across the globe participating in the opening remarks. Even world leaders like ministers also sharing their experiences, welcoming the guests, and I'm happy I was chosen to be one of the people who also participated in welcoming all the guests. It was even important to me to hear the founder of the International Youth Fellowship also expressing his voice, especially very strongly against the abuse of drugs, and also preaching to us as ministers that Jesus died for our sins. It's quite amazing. So we feel honored by this invitation. I am particularly impressed by the invitation that I received from the International Youth Fellowship.
Grach's choir's high-quality performance brought great joy to attendees, and they learn about the heart of Jesus through mind lecture. In particular, Pastor Aksu Park repeatedly emphasized Hebrews 10:10 and preached to attendees the gospel that they are saved from sin for free and eternity.
I feel pretty excited to be here. I'm looking forward to actually learning about more like growing spiritually and developing relationships with my peers, and also learning about the culture here in Korea. So I'm excited about the food, especially, being able to enjoy that. And I'm here with friends as well from Trinidad, so it's kind of a chance for us to grow our relationship together for when we go back to our country.
The 2024 IYF World Camp will conclude with a closing ceremony at Jamsil Indoor Stadium in Seoul on 28. The 12th World Ministers Forum was held along with the 2024 IYF World Camp. Ministers and vice ministers from ministries from over 20 countries gathered to share opinions and prepare practical measures to solve youth and social problems. The ministers and vice ministers had a fruitful time inspecting the Hyundai Motor Company plant in Ulsan, meeting with participants of the 2024 Leaders Conference, introducing mind education, meeting with branch heads from each country, and entrepreneurs. As part of main program, the 12th World Ministers Forum was held at Nurimaru APEC House in Busan on 24th, and presentations by ministers and vice ministers followed on topic of social problems and solutions through mind education. They analyzed the problems of their country's youth in depth and explained the expected effects of introducing mind education. The World Ministers Forum continues every year and serves as a venue for youth to seek a better future while maintaining a strong network. The 10th IYF Education Forum, hosted by IYF, was held at Norimaru APEC House in Busan on 23rd. Launched as the World University Presidents Forum, the event gradually expanded the scope and scale of participation and was reborn as an education forum last year, with university presidents leading the global education trend and educators in various fields participating. This year, 136 education officials from 30 countries discussed the problems facing the education sector and solutions for the digital transformation of the educational environment under the theme of nurturing talent through mind education in the digital era. The president and education officials pointed out the current situation where youth problems are becoming more serious, unlike the ever-evolving educational environment, and presented from various perspectives the need to properly educate youth through mind education. There was a presentation on mind education cases from the IYF Philippines branch. Pastor Aksu Park, which encouraged educators to work with IYF for the youth in the future. We look forward to seeing how the in-depth discussions held at the IYF Education Forum will change the education and future of youth in each country. The 2020 for CLF World Conference Korea, a gathering of Christian leaders from around the world, was held at Bexco in Busan starting on 21st. Approximately 880 pastors and Christian leaders from all over the world discussed their roles as pastors through discussions on Christian issues and religious life through the CO American Forum. They also responded greatly to the CLF Talk, which consisted of Bible lecture sessions and missionary testimony sessions. In addition, through mind discussion, pastors not only learn mind education in groups, but also learn together ways to practically apply it to worship and ministry. CLF World Conference Korea pastors who completed their schedule in Busan until 26 plan to continue sharing the true gospel until the closing ceremony. The 8th National Civil Service Forum PSF was held in Busan, with the participation of approximately 50 high-ranking officials from 19 countries, including police and correctional office chiefs, fire chiefs, and military generals. It was held for 8 days with various programs like Main Forum, Industrial Inspection, and MOU, signing ceremony. At this forum, presentations were made in accordance with subtopics, divided into each field under the common theme of member management in the organization and need for character education for future society. With the industrial field inspection, officials were impressed by Korea's high-level system and promoted the development of their country's system by directly interacting with practitioners. On 25 NMOU, signing ceremony was held with PSF, Philippines and Tongja, promising to continue more active exchanges between IYF and each country. The publication ceremony for the archive book, Falling Asleep in Happiness and Opening in Hope, which introduces Pastor Ok-soo Park Foundero and his activities, was held at the Bexco Auditorium in Busan on July 25th. This new book introduces the life journey of Pastor Ok-soo Park, who brought change to youth around the world and spread the gospel, hope and joy to everyone, as well as people he met, shipping activities, and the platform he created. The publication ceremony was held amid congratulations from overseas ministers, vice ministers, university presidents, and education officials, CLF, pastors and citizens participating in the World Ministers Forum and Education Forum, including the World Camp. Following the congratulatory speech between Seol Dong-gun, the third Vice Minister of Education, Science and Technology, and Uruguay's Minister of Environment, in the character section of the book, missionary Lee Han-seol from the Dominican Republic shared an honest story about how his life changed when he met Pastor Ok-soo Park. Lastly, Pastor Park, the main character of the book, said that the love of Jesus led him to live an unimaginable life, despite his shortcomings and weakness, and that he hopes everyone will feel the love of Jesus. The Good News Theological Seminary Evangelist Training Course was held at Bexco in Busan from 22nd to 25th in line with the IYF World Camp event schedule. This meeting, targeting Good News Seminary students and graduates, was held with the hope that attendees would not be frustrated by the reality in front of them and their own shortcomings, but would rather live the life of an evangelist and dedicate themselves to the gospel. At the 4-day meeting, missionaries Ha Keel, Kim Byum Siop, Nam Kyung Hyan, and Lee King Bo served as lecturers and delivered vivid testimonies and words. From July 19th to 23rd, the Good News Taiwan Church held an event commemorating the 33rd anniversary of the Gwanji Church and a children's summer camp at the headquarters of the Gwanja Foundation, where the MOU was signed. At the commemorative event, short-term missionaries performed various performances and preached the gospel. On 23rd and 24th, a children's summer camp was held in Taiwan's Hsinchu and Miaoli districts, and the children who participated were delighted with water Olympics, competitions, and listening to the gospel preached by short-term missionaries.